10 years before Black Summer, one notorious summer day saw fires rage all across the state of Victoria, the worst of which ended up decimating an area just outside of Melbourne.
It's 46.4 degrees in Melbourne, the city's highest temperature since records began. Victoria is the hottest place on Earth.
Following a string of days above 43 degrees Celsius or 110 Fahrenheit, hot, dry winds exceeding 100 kilometres per hour blew in from the desert, turning this area north of Melbourne into a tinderbox of crisp, desiccated leaves and grass. This blistering wind then brought down power lines, which immediately ignited the cracker-dry forest and farmland. The blaze shot up through the canopy and, propelled by the desert wind, began its march through several localities before reaching its peak ferocity in Kinglake, where flames were recorded reaching 100 feet into the air. The fire front changed direction so unpredictably and with such speed that many residents were unable to escape in time, as the surrounding forest, which had always provided such a beautiful backdrop, now became their worst enemy. By the end of that horrifying day, 120 locals had died in the blaze, alongside another 53 people elsewhere in the state, where almost 400 other fires were burning. For the survivors left in towns such as Kinglake, collective experiences of desperation, loss and perseverance became the new norm, personified in stories like that of Kinglake resident Darren Gibson.
Black Saturday claimed everything in his world, his home, his wife and his children. In the cold, legalistic confines of a Melbourne courtroom, a royal commission searches for answers to this calamity.
We had to stay inside for some sort of shelter, even though the house was on fire. And then the house, even the flames, was going across the roof. And we were still there, but then I got a big gulp of like poisonous gas or something like that, and it almost choked me, and I said, "Get out, get out."
Darren grabbed 3-year-old Jai and baby Ava. His wife Leslie took 4-year-old Kiona. But once outside, the flames seared their skin.
And then Leslie was screaming, "It's burning, it's burning." And so then I said, "Leslie, we've got to go down the mountain." So I said, "You have to jump the fence and go, you know." And so she's jumped the fence with Kiona and gone down.
But when Darren caught up, he found Leslie slumped on the burning hot earth.
And I'd noticed her sitting there. I noticed her sitting there on the ground with Kiona like this, nursing her. And I just couldn't understand why Leslie was sitting on the ground over there. And I've yelled to her, "Get to the dam, go to the dam." The dam was about another 20 metres. And she yelled to me, "I can't move." So I thought, okay, I've got to try and save Ava first. And I put Jai down on the towel. And I ran straight across to the dam. There's a little fence. I just threw Ava over. I don't even know where she landed. I just threw her. And then I'd run back. And I just ran back, seen Leslie and Kiona had passed away. And
His wife and daughter dead and unable to find Jai, Darren raced back to where he'd left 2-year-old Ava at the dam.
And we laid there on the edge, just on the edge with all of our body in the water and just our heads out.
Father and daughter were finally found by a neighbour and rushed to hospital, where Darren spent a month in a medically induced coma. He awoke to find that Ava too had died.
She looked really peaceful, and when they decided to turn the machine off. So she was really peaceful, and I prefer to think of it as she decided to go with her mum and her brothers and sisters. And you know, Charlie, it's probably a good thing because she was quite burnt. So it was probably a good thing in the end.
This memorial just outside of Kinglake commemorates the 173 people who lost their lives on February 7th, 2009, a day which is now remembered as Black Saturday.